Ingredients to make one batch of hot rolls. If you want to double this, make sure and not use 4 packages of dry yeast, only use 3. Here's the rough instructions to make this, although I do it differently, so just watch the video and you'll see. Hot rolls. We're going to put, this is a double recipe. It's 2/3 of a cup of warm water, not too hot. And this is 3 packages of fast rising yeast. We're going to put this in here first thing and let it soften. Stir it so that it all gets covered with the water. Let it sit. In a saucepan, we're going to put 2 cups of milk. I like to use 1 can of evaporated milk, which is 12 ounces, and half a cup of water. To that milk, you're going to want to put a half a cup of butter, and I like to use Irish butter. So this is 8 ounces, so that's a cup, so half of one of these in the milk. Then you're going to add 4 teaspoons of salt. This is for a double recipe, so I'm going to go ahead and put, that's the 4th one. Now, for one batch, you'd want to put a 1/4 cup of sugar in, but I'm putting a half a cup because I'm doing a double batch. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and turn the fire on because we're going to scald all this. And by scald, at least what works for me with this recipe, is to cook this until there is light steam coming off. You don't want it to bubble. You don't want it to boil real hard. You just want to do this until, cook it until there's just a real light steam coming off. The butter should be mostly melted, and try to stir up and get the sugar melted too. But that's scalded milk for this recipe anyway. So then you're gonna put the flour in a big pan. Now I'm making a double recipe, so it's gonna be more. If you're doing one recipe, you'll wanna use bread flour. You'll wanna use 4.5 to 5 cups for one recipe, but I would start with 4.5. You can always add more, but you can't take it out. Since this is a double recipe, I did about 9 cups, and I'll add to it whenever I'm making the dough if I need more. In the meantime, over here, we have this fire on. It's still cooking. You don't see any steam yet. So just, you have to watch it real close because it will scorch on the bottom if you don't. So, I'm messy. Okay, now if you look, this is just starting to lightly steam. See that? That's about as hot as you're going to want it to get. I'm going to leave it on for just a minute more and go get my eggs. Okay, now for one recipe you'll want to use 2 eggs, but for 2 recipes obviously you'd want to use 4. Now I let it get a little hotter than normal, and then I put the cold eggs in and stir it real good, and that kind of takes it to the temperature you want it to be, because if it's too hot it'll kill the yeast. So kind of just put my finger in. Now it's super hot right now. I'm going to turn off the fire. Okay, now I'm going to have to put this down to do the eggs, but I'll bring it back up here in a second. You want to have your whisk and stir real fast or it'll cook that egg. You just want to stir it so it'll mix up. And so it's going to be cooling this stuff down a little bit so it doesn't kill your yeast. But make sure the yolks are all mixed in. And I have it off the fire at this point. Okay, so that's good enough. Now, we're going to pour this into our flour. And then we're going to start mixing it. Wooden spoon works good in the beginning. Kind of just blend it in a little bit, dump it in. To turn it off while I clean the cup out. So the yeast is in and the scalded milk. Now, I'm just gonna mix it real good until I can't really mix it anymore. This wooden spoon. My video is not real great because I'm trying to hold it and do this at the same time. I'm gonna put the phone down again because I'm gonna have to use my hands now. All right. So just record my hand on this. Will is now holding the camera. So you're just gonna get your hands in there and just knead it until it's all mixed up.
You got flour all over your case.
Got what?
Flour all over your case.
Oh, yeah, I know. So I just put like 9 heaping cups of flour in here. If I'd done 10, that would have been way too much. So right now, we're just gonna mix all this up until there's no more wet flour.
You mean dry flour?
Dry flour. I am not a YouTube star, Judy. And this time around, it doesn't really have to be super good. You'll want to do this for about 2 minutes. Now, what I would recommend, I should have done before I started this, is to use some cooking spray in here, because this thing you're gonna need to leave in here to raise. So yeah, we're just mixing for about 2 minutes.
I've been going for 1 minute and 35 seconds so far.
Okay. You can put it on a, you know, a flat surface, but
You're almost 2 minutes.
I wouldn't do that in the beginning. I would just mix it up in the pan like this. Oh look, I left some on the side here.
There you go, there's 2 minutes.
Hey now. Willman, hold on a minute.
I'm just gonna stay right, Susan.
Hold on a minute. So then you're gonna kind of make a big dough ball out of it, and you're gonna put it back down in the pan. And I like to spray it with a little stuff on top. And then I'm gonna put a lid on it and let it raise great big. Okay, just hit record. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, it's recording. No, it's recording. Okay. So this, I've punched it down and let it rise, and now I'm punching it down again, and now I'm gonna knead it just a little bit more. And it doesn't seem to need any more flour or anything. It's doing all right. So this is how you do rolls. You bring up a little piece like this so it's smooth, and then you put it between your forefinger and your thumb, and then you pinch them like that, and that makes a roll. You can see where it's pinched, and you just put it on the pan. And you just do the whole thing like that, and bake them at 350 until they're done. But don't get them too done. You'll need to turn the broiler on at the end to brown them, and then I rub butter all over them, and that's it. I just pinch it up like that. So I put them in the oven at 350, and when they're done, you put it on broil for just a few minutes just to get the tops brown. That's it. Here's the ingredients again. Just remember, if you double this recipe, only use 3 packages of yeast, not 4. Then you'll want to let it rise, punch it down, let it rise again, and then punch it down again, knead it a little bit, and then break off the hot rolls. And here's their instructions. I don't follow these exactly, but it'll give you a rough idea about how to do it. I like my way better though, obviously, as I described in the video. Enjoy.